Day by Day Kids Bible, Day 6, Genesis 18. Abraham sat in the front of his tent near the trees. It was the hot part of the day. Abraham looked up and saw 3 men. He got up and went to meet them. One of them was really God. Abraham bowed down. "Stay here a while," he said. "Rest in the shade of the tree. My servants will get water so you can wash your feet. I'll get some food so you can eat. You can go on after you rest." "All right," the men said. Abraham rushed into the tent. "Hurry, Sarah," he said. "Bake some bread." In a little while the food was ready. Abraham brought out milk and meat and bread. He gave it to the men. Then he let them eat while he stood under a tree. "Where is Sarah?" asked the men. "She is in the tent," said Abraham. Then God said, "Sarah will have a baby boy. It will happen next year about this time." Sarah was in the tent near the door. She was listening. She laughed to herself when she heard what God said. That's because she and Abraham were very old. "Why is Sarah laughing?" asked God. "Is anything too hard for God?" Sarah was scared. She said, "I didn't laugh." "Yes, you did," said God. Abraham walked a little way with the men when they left. They could see the city of Sodom far away. They stood and looked at the city. God said, "There is very bad sin in Sodom. I'm going there to see just how bad the people are." Then the 2 men walked toward Sodom, but God stayed there with Abraham. Abraham could tell that God was going to get rid of the bad people. You wouldn't get rid of good people, would you? Wouldn't you save the city if 50 good people lived there? "I'll look for 50 good people there," said God. "If I find 50, I'll save the city." "I've been brave to talk to you about this," said Abraham. "But what if you find only 45 good people?" "I'll look for 45 good people," said God. "If I find 45, I'll save the city." "But what if you find only 40 good people?" asked Abraham. "40 good people? I'll save the city," said God. "Don't be angry," said Abraham. "But what if you find only 30? "I'll save the city for 30 good people," said God. "Since I've been so brave, I'll ask again," said Abraham. "What if you find only 20? "If I find 20, I'll save the city," said God. "Please don't get mad," said Abraham. "But what if you find only 10? "If I find 10, I'll save the city," said God. Then God left, and Abraham went back home. Genesis 19. It was evening when the 2 men got to Sodom. They were really angels. Lot was sitting at the city gate. He saw them coming, so he stood up and bowed. "Please come to my house," he said. "You may wash up and stay there tonight. In the morning you can go your way." The angels said, "No, we will stay in the city street tonight." But Lot kept asking them to stay with him. So at last they went to Lot's house. He baked bread and made dinner, and they ate with him. Before they went to bed, they heard voices. "Bring out the men who came to see you. We want to take them with us." But the men of the city were mean men. Lot went outside. He closed the door to his house. He saw all the men of the city around his house. They were asking for Lot's visitors. But Lot said, "No, this is not right. You must not be mean to my visitors." The men said, "Get out of the way, or we'll be meaner to you than we are to them." They kept pushing Lot. They pushed towards the door so they could break it down. But the angels were inside. They quickly opened the door. They took hold of Lot, and they pulled him inside with them. Then the angels made the men outside lose their sight. They could not find the door. The angels turned to Lot. "Does anyone else in your family live in the city? If they do, tell them to leave," they said. "God has sent us here to get rid of the city." Lot went to the men who were going to marry his daughters. "God is going to get rid of the city," he told them. "Hurry and leave." But the young men thought it was just a joke. When the morning came, the angels told Lot, "Hurry and leave, or you'll be in the city when God wipes it away. Take your wife and daughters with you. Now go." But Lot did not go. So the angels took him by the hand. They took his wife's hand and his daughters' hands. The angels led them out of the city. God was being good to them. They got out of the city. Then one of the angels said, "Run for your lives. Don't look behind you. Don't stop until you get to the mountains." But Lot said, "No, please. You are very kind to save our lives, but I can't run all the way to the mountains. See the town of Zoar over there? It's a very small town. Let me run to that town." So the angel said, "All right, but hurry. I can't get rid of Sodom until you get there." The sun was up when Lot got to Zoar. Then God sent fire from heaven. Fire fell like rain on Sodom. So he got rid of the city and everyone in it. But Lot's wife looked back. She turned into a post made of salt. The next morning, Abraham got up early. He went back to where he had talked with God. He looked toward Sodom. He saw thick smoke going up from the land. Lot was too scared to stay in Zoar, so he took his 2 daughters and moved to the mountains. They lived there.